Well, back out in the garage with another project. You have to excuse my voice. I've been fighting a cold all week, but we got a lot of work to do. So regardless of being under the weather, we're gonna get started on a truck build, another one. And this is a truck that some of you may remember from a few years ago where we lowered it. This is my buddy Ryan's 2000 Sierra that we did a 5-inch drop on it. 5.7. Yeah. 5.7. We just stole it from the body shop. It's getting painted. The cab just got painted and they're working on the box and stuff. And we basically just took it from him to get going on this. We're going to call it a swap. We're swapping out the tired 4.8 that this truck was born with. This motor's got what, 330,000 kilometers on it. Still runs, but she's a little worn out. So Ryan had this 6-liter. It's a Gen 3 6-liter. It's a rod and piston motor. So stock crank, but forged rod and piston. And it's built for boost. And he kind of spent a little bit of money. This is a Huron Speed single turbo kit. And he basically bought everything. That's the whole hot side with the crossover and manifolds. And he's got his fuel system here. What size turbo is that?
That's a 78. Sorry, what is it? Oh man.
Anyway, he's got a VS Racing turbo.
Yeah, it's the one that everybody runs on these things. So
Probably like a 78 mil.
yeah, it's.
Where's the tag? So it's a 78, 75. It's
Gen 2
billet wheel. It's a stout turbo. This truck, trucks go through different evolutions. Same with cars. You have a project, it keeps changing over time. This truck is at the point where it's going to get some horsepower. And with that horsepower, he still wants it to be streetable. So the 4L60 that's in it, which if you're making upwards of 400 horsepower, you're basically exceeding already the limits of that tranny. And that's pretty much the limit, is maybe 400. You're pushing it. So the 4L60 is coming out and a 4L80 is going to go in. So a little bit bigger cubic inch motor, a little bit more stout much more stout transmission, and a turbo to feed it all. He will be running a Holley Terminator X Max to help run the transmission as well. And one of the things that he wanted to maintain was the gauge cluster on the truck. So if you don't know, the Max comes with a little 3.5-inch screen, which tells you all your vitals, but it doesn't give you speedometer or nothing like that. So what he wants to do is maintain the gauge cluster. You don't want to be driving and have all your gauges dead. So because we're replacing the engine harness with the Holley, we're going to try and integrate that into the factory harness so his tach gauge works, his speedo works, everything will still work. But it'll be running off a Holley. Yeah, it's very convenient that the box is off the truck right now. The fuel pump, very accessible. Drive shaft, we can drop that out pretty quick. We are going to fix stuff that the previous owner did. The previous owner replaced this brake line, did not remove the old brake line, and ran the new brake line outside the frame around this mount where it's been just rubbing on the mount, and just ran it the easiest route, which I've done that. But we're going to fix it. We're going to make it better. And I also noticed that the previous owner replaced the front brake line and did the same thing. That's what this is looping out of here. That's the front brake line. So we're going to fix that too. We lowered this thing years ago and it rides like a shopping cart. which we kind of knew it was going to, but it's pretty bad. So these tired old leaf springs are coming out. The notch is going to stay. We may weld it in now. We don't know yet. But he has picked up a 4-link kit and coilovers for this thing. So we are going to remove all the leaf spring setup and do a 4-link setup. So it should ride a lot better. He's already got a posi put in this thing, so that's good. No more one-wheel peels. But yeah, this should be a fun street truck that'll ride better, move a lot quicker, and sound cool, while maintaining the factory gauge cluster working. And you should be able to hop in it, fire it up, and it basically run like a factory truck. We're not going to get too aggressive with the transmission. We are going to do a shift kit and stuff like that, but we're not going to go like full manual where he's got to sit there and shift it through all the gears. But yeah, it should be fun. So we have to get this thing all pulled apart. So that's what we're going to start with tonight. We're going to get the hood off, get that out of the way, and then just go to town with disconnecting everything, which when you're missing half the stuff already makes it a little easier. Ready to get going on this?
Yeah.
Yes, we don't have all night, so.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
So here's a little progress update. We were out here last night, got a lot of the front end torn off. Because the rad support was, like the grill, bumper, everything was already removed, it wasn't that much more work to just get the whole rad support and everything right out of the way. That way we can pull the engine and tranny right out pretty easily. Took the hood off so that the overhead crane can do its thing. But yeah, we got to be able to look at everything here. This thing definitely needs a cleaning. So once we get this sucker yanked out, you can see how everything's in pretty good shape. Like rust-wise, this is the worst up here. So we're going to get that cleaned up. But the firewall and everything was oil sprayed from previous owners. So everything's just got this thick layer of grime on everything. So once we get the motor pulled out, we're going to take this sucker outside and we're going to power wash, degrease the whole engine bay. Got to undo the engine mounts. The drive shaft's already out. And, you know, fuel lines, stuff like that. And we'll get this sucker yanked out tonight. Now, as far as keeping the drivability goes, we are deleting one kind of important thing to some, not so important to others, and that's the AC. The AC didn't work on this truck when he got it. Hasn't worked in the 4 years he owned it. The compressor is pooched. And with this turbo kit, the turbo's basically sitting right here, right where this AC line is. Heater hoses are not a big deal to move. But with the Huron Speed kit, I guess there's an option to spend an extra $300 that gives you the line. It changes this angle off this air conditioning line so that it doesn't interfere with the turbo. Because this is where the turbo sits, right here. And Ryan is not too worried about the AC at all because he hasn't had it working since he's got the truck. So we're just going to get rid of it altogether. And definitely frees up more space. And if he ever changes his mind later, you can still put it back in. I don't think we're going to pitch it all. We'll take it off and we'll just put it aside, throw it in the box somewhere, throw it on a shelf. But he'll have to buy a new compressor, a $300 line, and the condenser isn't in bad shape, but we're going to leave it out because that gives us room to put our transmission cooler that we're going to be placing right up against the rad. So it actually works out good that we're not going to be using that. So we're going to get back to it and get this sucker pulled out. So the motor is successfully out. In case any of you are wondering, this is a Gen 4 lifting plate. It does bolt up to a Gen 3. You just have to make sure you remove the oil pressure sensor and the cam positioning sensor, and you can't use that bolt. So, but the Gen 4 plate does bolt onto a Gen 3. So that was helpful. But this tired old motor is out, and we still have a lot of work ahead of us cleaning up all this crap and grime. That is a blue firewall, I believe, but it's black now. So we're gonna get this all cleaned up. We're gonna get this thing put back on the ground and rolled out, and then go to town on it with a power washer. We got cleaning underway. This stuff's all soaking in the greaser. We're gonna clean it up. This might be getting repurposed. So we're gonna clean her up, take a look inside at some point. This, we're gonna try and find a new home for it. Cleaning up all the other little parts. We already soaked the whole engine bay in degreaser, power washed it, let it soak again, and this is the second round of power washing going on that chassis. Because there's 44 years of road grime and undercoating and just oil leak that collects more crap and just sits on there. And there's a lot. So, all right, it's been about a week. I finally kicked this cold I've had. I was sick for about 2.5 weeks. Feeling much better now. So, everything's cleaned up. See, we can actually see the firewall now. Everything's nice and clean. I reworked the brake line that was here. This thing like looped out and around and back, and it was just a mess. So I bent her all up nice to kind of keep it tight to the frame without touching the frame. And Ryan scrubbed this all down, gave it a shot of satin trim clad, just to pretty it up a little bit. He actually missed a spot. But, I mean, most of it's not going to see anyway. But because after we cleaned this all, this was like bare steel, like shiny. It looked like brand new steel. So we gave it a coat of paint just to protect it. And we're pretty much ready to start putting stuff back in. So motor ready to go. Ryan was just prepping this tranny. We're going to put some fittings on the side for the new lines. He's just removing some of the crap that was on here. And then we're going to make the two together. He's got his new converter. It's a 3600 stall converter. Same one, basically the same one I got in my truck. But because he's not running a trans brake, it should work a lot better for him than mine is for me. My goal is to get the engine and tranny in the truck tonight. Modify the transmission cross member to make it work, because the 4L80, this mount sits about 6.5 inches further back than the 4L60 did. So that cross member is going to be sitting about here. So we got to modify it somehow. This is a cross member. We're going to modify that to work with that. So yeah, my goal is to get this engine and tranny in there tonight, and then I really want to see what this turbo kit looks like mocked up on it. I say mocked up. If we put it on, it's on for good. But if we can get it on tonight, great. We'll see what kind of time we have, see how efficient we are. Engine and transmission going fast. It's just the cross member that's going to hold us up. Whether I make a whole new one or modify that one, we will find out shortly. But yeah, gonna get this thing put together and slide it in place. So there must be a noticeable size difference with the bell housing on the 4L80, because we can't get the motor to drop in. We can't get the oil pan past that cross member. Even tried taking the valve covers off because the top of the valve cover was scratching the firewall, trying to tilt the motor down to get it in.
So what we've done is removed all the bolts from this cross member. We're just going to drop the cross member down and then set the motor in place. Obviously there's enough clearance with the 4L60, but not the 4L80. And we don't feel like splitting them and putting the tranny in after because it's hard to get to the bell housing bolts around the top. It's pretty easy just to drop the 6 bolts and get the cross member out of the way. So we've decided to call it a night. Water pump's on, valley cover's on, and you know, we did the cross member underneath is bolted back in place. After looking at the transmission cross member, we've decided to just order a pre-made one. They do sell, there's a couple companies out there that make transmission cross member to swap a 4L80 into a Silverado or Sierra. And after looking at the current cross member from the 4L60, it's going to require a lot of chopping and then we also have to figure out the height to get the proper angle. So we thought, for how cheap they are, 150 bucks for the cross member. Ryan just went ahead and ordered it, so it'll be a couple days. But that's not going to hold us up. We can still keep going on everything else. But for today, we've pretty much done as much as we want to get done. We can't move on to putting the turbo kit on yet because we have to grab like the starter and stuff like that, which Ryan has at his house. So he's going to grab that along with the cover that goes under the flywheel that bolts to both the oil pan and the transmission. So we're going to get all that on before we run the exhaust, because the exhaust crosses over under the tranny there. And I mean, we unwrapped everything. We were getting ready to go, and then we decided, you know what, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's get everything else in place first, like, you know, like starter, all that kind of stuff, before we get the hot side bolted on. But that's going to do it for this video. Next video, we're going to get to putting in this beautiful Huron Speed turbo kit. I'm excited to see just how well this thing fits. I mean, for the money that you pay for this, you hope it's perfect. But we will find out soon enough. But that's it for today. We'll see you next time.